I'm J.R. Church. Welcome to today's analysis of the news. Well, I went to the doctor this morning and we discussed the CAT scan that was made yesterday. And we both agree from looking at a CAT scan that was made of my liver back in January and another CAT scan that was made on yesterday that the two tumors in my liver have shrunk. I would guesstimate somewhere between 25 and 30% shrunk. Isn't that wonderful? He was delighted, and I'm happy about it. This is saying that the radiation was able to kill out the cancer tumors. Now, they're either dying or dead, and what's left, the liver is, slowly taking out the trash and replacing it with good stuff. And so they have shrunk. They also don't seem to be as the same density. In fact, in one, it looked, they are a mere shadow of their former self. So, praise the Lord. We will do another CAT scan in 3 months to find out if it has shrunk any further, or if it is stabilized, or if it is growing. If it's growing, of course, that means that the cancer is still there, the live cells. If it is, if it maintains the same tumors and they have not grown, it will also mean that they are dead and that they're not multiplying, not growing. So anyway, we'll know more in 3 months, but so far so good. We're still here for another 3 months, unless, of course, the Lord comes and takes us out, and I hope He does it this month, frankly. I cannot tell you that He will. Well, let me get on to some headline news today from Israel Today. Shimon Peres butts heads with Obama administration over settlements. In front of television cameras, Israeli President Shimon Peres said that his meeting with U.S. President Barack Obama on Tuesday had revealed no rifts between the two governments when it comes to making peace in the Middle East. He said, "There is no space between us and the United States." But a meeting with Vice President Joe Biden demonstrated that great tension still exists over Jews living and building on their ancestral lands in Judea and Samaria. Earlier on Tuesday, Mr. Biden said, as he told an annual gathering of the American Israel Public Affairs Committee, that Israel must stop building Jewish homes in Judea and Samaria if it wants peace. Similar demands by the present and past administrations, U.S. administrations, usually focus on the construction of new Jewish settlements, but in reality, even the building of new homes inside existing Jewish communities elicits outrage and condemnations. In his meeting with Biden later in the day, Peres said, quote, "Israel cannot instruct settlers in existing settlements not to have children or get married." In other words, they want to live in the same hometown with mom and dad or grandpa and grandma. They have to build nearby. Well, meanwhile, Tony Blair, envoy for the U.S.-led Quarter of Middle East Mediators, revealed on Wednesday that the group will soon present a framework for ramming through the creation of a Palestinian state. Speaking to Palestinian reporters, Blair said people should start to have some hope since this framework was being vigorously worked on at the highest levels of the American government. You know what's going to happen when Palestine is established. They will ring their borders with rockets. That's what they did in Gaza, and they're still doing it. Listen to this report. Hamas on Wednesday claimed responsibility for a mortar shell attack on a small village in southern Israel. 3 mortar shells hit the Sha'ar HaNegev region adjacent to the Gaza Strip, causing no injuries or damage. On Saturday, 2 Qassam rockets were fired from Gaza at the same area, again, causing no injuries or damages. Now, just because it doesn't cause any injuries or damage doesn't mean that it's okay to shoot them off. So, and by the way, the reason, in my opinion, The reason these rockets are not causing any injuries or damages is because there's an angel up there pushing them, guiding them toward vacant lots. Here's another report. When U.S. President Barack Obama met with Jordan's King Abdullah 2 weeks ago, he urged the moderate Arab leader to persuade his counterparts around the Middle East to make some changes to the Saudi-authorized Arab Peace Initiative. That report, according to a report in London-based pan-Arab newspaper Al-Quds Al-Arabi on Wednesday. In the report, Obama is cited as telling Abdullah he wants to make the Saudi plan part of his official Middle East policy. But there are some elements that need altering to make it acceptable to Israel and to the U.S. The only two changes specified in the report are granting of citizenship to new Palestinian state to the so-called Palestinian refugee instead of letting them flood Israel. In other words, if you want the Palestinian refugees to come home, let them come home to the new state of Palestine, not to settle in the state of Israel. And